My name is Sandy Perkins, and I am Laura Westman's grandmother.
Hi, I'm Stan Perkins. I am Laura's uncle.
My name is Ann Perkins. I am your mother, Laura Westman, and I am Sandy Perkins' daughter.
Because my children were both born, Stan and Ann, and they were like 5 and 6 when I had an automobile accident in which I suffered a basal skull fracture.
So my mom, smart lady, funny, outgoing, confident in her own way, and then had this horrible car accident when I was at about second or third grade. And
She had graduated from college. She graduated from a good college before her brain injury, and she was certainly like an outgoing, vivacious person with a lot of interest.
Well, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I went home and really wasn't able to do too much at home. I had a lot of help, and within 6 months I was back performing regular duties as a wife and a mother, but my memory was that was the thing that just I had the hardest time with, because at the beginning I could not remember 3 minutes ahead. I mean, things would happen and I just forgot about them.
What I do understand is that she came home, she was still in post-traumatic amnesia, so she did not fully even understand, that my brother and I were her children, that she had a husband and so forth. And I remember her as being extremely fatigued. She slept a lot. She slept quite a bit. And she was also very emotional. She was crying a lot.
I had some right side damage. They figured that at the beginning, and that didn't really show up until at the beginning I had a little limping, and I had right hand impairment in the fact that I couldn't write very well. But within a year, I kind of ignored it. It was kind of got used to the slight limp.
that was like a real demarcation in terms of what she was like before and after. She was never the same person. Great person afterwards, but very forgetful, lost a lot of confidence, I think, and seemed like there was a guilt component to things. It was rough.
A head injury happens to make you feel as though, people are going to look askance at you, as though you're not going to be able to do what they do. You won't understand.
We were super nervous about how that might go, but she didn't really have any choice. Our folks got a divorce when we were in high school, and my mom needed to make some money. She was not in a position to live off whatever her divorce proceedings were going to give her, because there wasn't much. And so she went back to college, got a master's in psychology.
I was not working at the time of the accident, and as time went on, I wanted to get to work. And I was very interested in, I had gone to work for Alcoholism Information Rehabilitation Services in Contra Costa County, and was a counselor for people with alcohol and drug problems. And I found that they accepted me with the proviso that I had had a head injury, and we didn't know to what degree it was going to affect the work that I had. And I don't understand this really, except that I never felt impaired to the extent that I wouldn't try something. I just went ahead and did it. And they knew that, and they said, if there's a problem, we'll certainly let you know. And then I worked there for a long time, ran groups, worked one-to-one with people who had alcohol and drug problems. I continued to work, and as time went on, they changed the program a bit, and they wanted more content within the group. I went back to graduate school, spoke to the graduate school leader and said to him, I've had this head injury and I'm not sure how well I will be able to do it. And he said, well, we'll find out once you get in. I kept comparing myself against the other students. And they were not only did they not have a head injury, but they were younger than I was. I worked all the way through, so that I never did take any time off for graduate school. I did it all at night or on the weekend.
I know that my mom, to her credit, is a great advocate for herself, and she's not afraid to go to the administration or to the people who run the school, and she's not afraid to ask for help. You know, she's always been assertive that way, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't originally have any accommodations for her, that she might have been able to persuade them into helping her a little bit. That would be my guess.
I know that her short-term memory is extremely poor and new learning is hard for her. So, but she really gutted it out and got through it and completed the program, so I'm really proud of her on that. Sort of current research on aging with a brain injury shows that people age differently with a brain injury. They die sooner, they have more health problems, they have earlier cognitive decline. Just being aware that somebody like in their 50s, you might not think of them as somebody who's going to be having sort of a steep cognitive decline, but my mom did have a decline like that in her 50s. One of the things that I think can really happen with people with a brain injury and other sort of challenges is if something changes at work, like your schedule changes, your boss changes, there's a new technology comes in, there's a new task you have to be responsible for. That's when people might really stumble and get to the point where they lose their job. Whereas I think if there was some voc rehab sort of intervention and somebody paying attention to what was happening with you, they, you know, like a job coach may have been able to intervene much earlier on with my mom before it got to the point that she lost her job.
Well, I kept asking for things and they said no. And I said, and then somebody said, you need a lawyer on this one. So I went and spoke to a lawyer, and he works with ADA a lot, and that stopped the county. As soon as I made it a legal issue, they stopped pushing me, but I was coming very close to retirement.
Her skills were more verbal. She likes to write things longhand. She always had a tough time with organization and memorization because of her head injury. And as the computers became more and more important to what she was doing, I think she fell farther and farther behind. And I think that she was able to, once again, advocate for herself and get help for the computers. And I think that all of the assistance that she had for that, and it enabled her to keep her job. She was still falling behind. It was still very challenging for her. And at the end of her career, there was a move to terminate her because she couldn't keep up with the new software and the new some of the new policies and such. And she was just a little short in terms of time from qualifying for her full pension, and so we had to hire lawyers, and it was a big brouhaha at the end of her career, and it was kind of sad. You know, it was sad the way it ended. You know, she felt I think she had her feelings hurt. I think she was scared. We had to get attorneys going. That became an adversarial deal, and we were able to achieve a settlement, basically, that she didn't go back to work, but the county gave her all of her pension and all of her benefits. So she didn't go out on a high note, you know. And again, I think that was the head injury kind of rearing itself again, where she was forced to fight for her rights and ultimately kind of retired early and made to feel like she wasn't up to it. And I think that was hard on her.
What they did essentially is they put me into kind of a non-problematic job, a job that was really required very little of any skill. And I wouldn't be pushed into any place where anyone could catch what I was doing or not. Now, a lot of that is my assumption, but the lawyer said this has definitely gone on.
You know, it's kind of like the Facebook phenomenon where you only put these happy pictures on all the time. Like, I mean, there's a lot of happy, like, wonderful things about what my mom has done since her brain injury, but there are a lot of things that have been very painful, difficult, dangerous, choices that she's made in her life that were very, very hard. And Grandma seems like she's very independent. She's kind of doing her own thing and so forth, but she also has a lot of frontal lobe damage. She has a lot of executive functioning problems, so she, got into, well, really 3 marriages, but, 2 since her brain injury that were really negative for her. The last 2 were men who really took advantage of her financially. I think the last one, I would say, put her in positions of physical harm, that sort of thing. So I think there was a lot of stuff going on that my brother and I didn't really understand. Like, if somebody seems independent, should you intervene? What should you do? That sort of thing. So, there's sort of 2 sides to the story. There's the happy, good stuff. Like, we're just all here together for Thanksgiving, which has been wonderful, and we love Grandma, and she loves her family, and we enjoy all of that. But my brother and I have had to give her a great deal of help.
I could just kind of bringing it up to date now. We're here celebrating Thanksgiving, and Mom's 82, 83, and she's doing pretty well. She's got great relationships with her family. She's got a nice place to live. She got her financial concerns kind of gone. She's got it all covered, and it's she wrote herself a really good story, I think.
With what I know and what I experienced, I really need to be able to talk to some people and tell them, don't give up on yourself. You may not be the same person that you were before, but you're moving straight ahead, and you've got you, and you can.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great lasting message to put
And
out there.
faith.
And faith.
That's my bottom
Absolutely.
line.
Okay, I think that's pretty much wraps it up. Is there anything else you want to say?
No,
or-
I thank you very much
Of
for
course.
trusting me to do this.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I feel my class will really enjoy this.
My granddaughter.
Yeah.
Darn.